welcome back to the channel. Here's a question. Would you risk it all to save a 6'2", handsome, dashing king? Well, some of you may, but when I say risking it all, I mean having a bunch of angry parliamentarians potentially beheading you for keeping hold of the king and hiding him away. Well, today I'm at Moseley Hall in Wolverhampton, and this place, as well as its beauty and being 400 years old, it's also a very key part of Charles II's escape. This was one of the locations that he hid. Now, there's priest holes. They've got the original table that they used to dine at, well, the board, and they've got the original bed that Charles II slept in. And did I mention, it's a very, very pretty place. So as I'm exploring the lands of Moseley Hall and trying to picture what this looked like in the 17th century, let me give you a bit of background. So after the Civil War, where the parliamentarians battered the royalists, Charles II went on the run. Now, if you've watched our previous video about Boscobel House, that was one of the locations that he hid, and his very next stop was this place. So if you watch that video, we go into a bit more detail about the battle, Cromwell chasing him, and where his journey went to. But today's video, just going to show you another stop-off point of where Charles II escaped to and where he stayed. Now, he turned up to this place dressed as a peasant, wearing shoes far too small for him. So you've got to imagine, right, he was handsome, apparently, 6'2", in a time period where people, let's face it, were about 5'7", 5'6" even. He was a character that would have stuck out like a sore thumb. So he squeezed into tiny shoes, damaging his feet completely, and dressed like a peasant. Now, this place, similar to Boscobel, was a place where Catholicism was practiced. So they had their priest there, they had a hidden chapel, and it was another Catholic sort of stronghold hidden away which accepted him in. And obviously, what does that mean? Well, similar to his other great escape stories, he was saved by a priest hole. That is where he hid when he was staying here. And again, just imagine a 6'2" man dressed like a peasant who's already wore shoes far too small for him, is in pain, hidden in a 4-foot hole. Yep, that's his place.
This is the hall. This is the family room, basically.
Nice.
So they're a farming family, and so this looks more as it would have done in Charles's. Again, you've got the Victorian floor, but
So that was the modernisation, was the Victorian floor.
yeah.
But everything else would be...
But again, it's structurally the same. And of course, this is decorated how it would have been
when Charles was here.
when Charles came. This, in fact, this is a 400-year-old table.
Oh, wow.
And this was here when Charles came.
No.
Yeah. There's only two bits of furniture that were here. There was this and the bed, which is upstairs, which is the actual bed Charles slept in.
So that's officially where Charles
Yeah.
had his tea. How is that 400 years old? So well kept.
It is. It's called a board. They didn't call them tables. They called them boards. And literally, it is a board that sits on the trestle.
So what's the 400-year-old bit? The the board or
both.
That is 400 years old. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That's where he would have sat.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I say it's called a board, and it's meant to be turned over. It's where we get the expression "turning the tables."
Right.
Because the underneath bit is where you prepare your vegetables, so it can be as scratched and as appalling as you want, really.
So chop the vegetables underneath, serve it on table here.
That's right. So you take the rough with the smooth.
There's a lot of analogies coming out from here,
That's
metaphors.
Right. That's right. So there's only one chair. He's the head of the family. He's the only one with the chair. So he's the chairman of the board.
No, surely
that's where you get it from.
The chairman of the board.
He's
that makes
the chairman
sense.
of the board. He had a family gathering, a board meeting.
Wow.
What sort of games do you think they played? Board games.
There you go.
They were great card players.
Board games.
Yeah, but you couldn't put your hands down here, you might be cheating. So everything had to be
on the table.
Above board.
Above board. There you go. I'm not very good at my
You can clear it and you can sleep on it. You're providing bed and board and lodgings.
Wow.
It all comes from the board.
That's pretty impressive that you can do that like that.
Yeah.
So that chair then, is that where he might have sat then?
Yes.
Ah, so that's the original chair as well?
No, because that is, but it is a 17th century chair, so he would have sat on those sorts of chairs.
Wow.
If you can picture Charles, he's very like his father.
Yeah. Well, looking from that painting in the other room.
Yeah.
So is it one of the only 14 we know of? Or do we know the other 13?
No, we do know names of 14.
Right, we do. But this is the only one we've got a full description, picturesque.
No, we do have pictures of all. Well, we don't hold pictures, but you can find pictures of them all. Oh yeah, they're all identifiable because he was very open and he acknowledged them. You see, he gave all the boys titles and he married all the girls off.
Well, I didn't know that.
It's the ones we don't know of because he probably had in excess of 30 legitimate children.
Yeah, naturally with his
with the others.
His behaviour. The interesting fact I found out about is once Charles III dies and William comes into power, he will be a connection to Charles II.
That's right.
Because one of his 14 kids is linked to Diana Spence.
Yeah, Prince William.
Yeah, and then she'll see Prince William.
Yeah.
So Charles II, technically, his bloodline will go back on the throne.
That's right. Yeah.
Which...
Yeah.
That's
in
pretty
fact, Prince
wild.
William is descended from two mistresses of Charles. His second mistress, the second major mistress, because he had lots of one-night stands.
Yeah.
He just had 14 regular mistresses. But the second one, Barbara Palmer, who was the Duchess of Cleveland, William is descended from. And he's also descended from another one, the Duchess of Portsmouth, Louise de Querouaille. So through Diana Spencer, he's descended from two.
Oh, wow.
Camilla is descended from Barbara Palmer.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Fergie, the Duchess of York, who's back in the news, she's descended from three different mistresses.
Oh my God.
The same two and another one. Because Barbara Palmer had 5 children with Charles.
Wow.
Louise only had 1. Nell Gwyn. Have you heard of Nell Gwyn? She used to be very...
So why did he have none with his wife? Was she like...
She
couldn't carry children?
No,
right.
she had 3 miscarriages.
Right, okay, so that's... Cause that's always the interesting part. I found out he had 14 of we know of, but none with his wife, so she couldn't have any kids.
But say Charles has got lots of...
So he's probably got...
Have you ever watched Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Do you know Kit Harington?
Yes.
He's descended from Charles II.
No way.
Through the mistresses, yeah. He's descended from the same mistress that William and Camilla are descended from.
That's wild.
Kit Harington, yeah.
So by the sounds of it, we're all going to be connected to him some way or another.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially think about it. If he was in these areas, in the West Midlands, on his refuge.
I mean, when you talk about it, you think, so they have a child who marries someone who has a child, and then, you know, it's all...
Yeah, it's all linked in one way or another.
It's all linked in.
So this is the main door from the side of the road. Now, when the parliamentarians turned up, they turned up here, and what they did is they opened all the doors, the front door all the way through the house, to show, look, we're not hiding anyone here. Meanwhile, they'd crammed 6'2" hunk of a man, Charles II, into a 4-foot priest hole under the floorboards, and they luckily managed to keep him hidden. Now, this is quite an interesting part of his escape story, because, put it this way, if he didn't fit into that hole, the parliamentarians, the army, were here. They were literally standing on top of his head. So without this place and their clever hiding tactics, Charles II would not have existed much longer. And without Charles II, well, some of his descendants, most of the royal family, Camilla, William, and Kit Harington from Game of Thrones is a descendant from Charles II. Absolutely fascinating. So without this place, there would be potentially no Game of Thrones. I'm trying to make it more important. Oh, yes, put up my head. So the parliamentarians.
Well, mainly both, but more associated with the parliamentarians.
That is heavy.
Yeah.
Way heavier than...
You thought?
So you'd be on a horse with this?
Yes.
Oh my word.
And so the only way you could attack them, you see, would be to hit the face.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's alright, don't worry. None of them had ponytails, did they? There you go, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the only way you could stop it was a man called a pikeman who had an 18-foot pole.
This hat. That's more comfortable. I feel better in that one.
Yeah.
That's a nice hat as well.
So he didn't need a face guard because...
Yeah, the pole to defend him.
Yeah, it's like 3 6-foot men.
Yeah.
So you can see it would go way beyond the ceiling.
They are.
Oh yeah, he's a
solid.
pikeman.
So the upstairs is closed off today, but because it's an amazing place, and honestly, the National Trusts and the English Heritage Sites, the volunteers are absolutely amazing. I can't even explain how brilliant they are, the attention and time. So he's just come up to me because he saw my glum little face that I can't see Charles's bed, and he said if I stay till the very end, they'll close the doors and he'll take me upstairs and show me around for 5-10 minutes. So I've got access to see Charles II's bedroom. These are steep.
Yeah, this is the servants' staircase.
This is class. Oh wow.
This is where he slept. That's the actual bed.
That's insane. That's crazy.
And there's the bed clothes. They're not original bed clothes, but it's the original bed.
That's crazy. How it's been kept. So it's over 400 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The 4-poster was your statement piece of furniture. So you're showing off really if you can have a
4-post.
4-poster bed.
Yeah. I think that's still true to this day really. If you've got one of them, you've got a bit of money. Yeah, it looks a bit older there.
Well, he is, yeah.
When did he go on the run? When he was 21, was it?
He was 21.
21, yeah.
He was crowned on his 30th birthday.
Oh, what a gift.
That's his mother, Henrietta Maria.
Yeah. And who's that?
That's his eldest sister, Mary, who was the Princess Royal.
Ah.
She married when she was 9. And she married a much older man. He was pushing 15. He was the Prince of Orange. And their child was William of Orange, who eventually became King of England.
The Battle of Boyne? Is that right?
That's right.
William of Orange? Yes. I know that.
Billy.
Yes, that's it. I knew that from the visiting Belfast.
Yeah.
I started asking around about it. Yeah, Battle of Boyne.
1690, the Battle of the Boyne, and that's the day that Charles was here. Soldiers were spotted, and so this is where he hid. Right, so it looks quite good.
No way.
You see the lights going now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But of course, we still have these security lights.
Yeah.
In Charles's day, there would have been no lights at all,
So it'd be
other
pitch
than
black.
a candle.
Yeah.
So this is where he hid. This is the priest hole.
Oh, no way. Thanks for showing me this, by the way. I do really appreciate it.
This is a wall. This would have been a wall.
Right.
Because the National Trust are very into health and safety, we don't want visitors colliding in each other's way, you see. So we have a walk through. But this was a wall.
Right.
So you would be walking into a closed cupboard. Wow. And that's where he...
No.
So if you wanted to kneel down, you could quite happily.
That's tiny. So how deep is that? Is that about?
It's just under 5 foot.
And he was 6'2".
He was 6'2".
So he lay down in there. That is a pretty good hiding spot, though.
And you put the plank above your head, which could be bolted from the inside. But bear in mind, this would be an enclosed cupboard, which would be pitch black.
So you wouldn't even
unless
think.
you had the thing. So it's disguised as a linen cupboard.
Yeah.
It would have been dark, and there would have been an overpowering smell of urine as well, because they always kept urine in the cupboard,
Right.
which deterred the moths and things.
Yeah.
But also, it deterred guard dogs, because the guard dogs wouldn't come anywhere near it.
Right. To attract scent and
Yeah,
give it away.
That's right. Yeah.
How were the parliamentarians, though, not privy to this and search for priest holes? They must have known, surely. They must have known that there was priest hole. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yes.
but they just still.
They could probably have found it, but I sort of say they didn't actually come into the house.
Right.
So he opened all the doors, and he must have been very persuasive because they didn't actually come in.
Was that Thomas Whitegreave?
That was Thomas Whitegreave.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm not saying they couldn't possibly have found him, but you see, it's so far off the beaten track.
Yeah, it is. Even the
People
drive now.
wouldn't come here, you see.
No.
This is Thomas Whitgreave's bedroom. This is the master bedroom. We've taken out the bed,
Yeah.
but there would have been a lot of furniture anyway, because he would have entertained all his friends in this room.
Right. That makes sense.
That's Thomas.
Wow.
That was painted when he was 23. He
Thomas
was in his
Whitgreave.
early 30s when Charles came.
Wow.
His dad was Thomas Whitgreave. His son was Thomas Whitgreave. His grandson was Thomas Whitgreave. So he's known as Thomas the Preserver
Thomas the Preserver, yeah.
because he helped to preserve the life.
Who gave him that name? Was it Charles when he came back? Or was it just his known historical name?
Yeah, it's of a later date.
Yeah.
He wasn't known as the Preserver at the time. But he's buried not far from here in a place called Bushbury.
He's buried in Bushbury Crown? Bushbury...
Near Bushbury Crown. Do you know Bushbury?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Oh my God.
He's buried in the writing room. You can go. It's the lightest room in the house.
Ah, right, yeah. Ah, it's a great strategical position as well.
Yeah.
So when he was hiding Charles, he could just look out here and shout, "Get in that priest hole, mate!"
Well, when Charles was here, because this is the room where he had a meal with Dame Alice, Thomas Whitgrave's mother, they could actually see some of the Scottish soldiers making their way back to Scotland, because it was a Scottish army that were beaten at Worcester.
Yeah.
That's Charles, the obviously Merry Monarch.
Yeah.
And that's his wife, Catherine of Braganza. Portuguese, best remembered today as the lady that popularised tea.
How did she?
She's the tea lady.
The tea lady. How did she feel about him having 14 mistresses? Was it just accepted?
She's accepted.
Just having mistresses and...
Well, he had 5 living openly at court. And she didn't get on very well with them, really.
I'm not surprised.
These are the 3 eldest of Charles I and Henrietta's 7 children. That's Charles who came here, the Prince of Wales.
Yeah.
That's Mary, the mother of William of Orange. That appears to be a little girl, but it's a boy. Boys and girls wore dresses.
Yeah, that's
till
fair
they
enough.
were 8. That's the future James II, the Duke of York.
That's crazy. So then, Charles II defended the Catholics, became Catholic himself. His sister's son went and destroyed the Catholics in Ireland. Right. God.
Yeah.
How can they have such different views in the same family? I would have thought it'd all be quite strict.
Yeah, it's all to do with religion, really.
That's crazy. So she's more of an interesting character than I realised by coming to this room until you told me. Did not know the mother of
But you see,
William of Orange.
2 of his daughters did become Queens of England.
Wow.
Because he was Catholic, but the 2 daughters from his first marriage were Protestant. So his eldest daughter, Mary, married her cousin, William of Orange. That's where the William and Mary came in. And the youngest of his daughters, Anne, became the last of the Stuarts.
Wow. So
those 3 between them, they're really the covering the entire end of the Stuart dynasty.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's a lady's daybed.
That's very
17th
nice.
century.
Doesn't look that comfortable, to be honest with you.
No, but it beats the floor.
Yeah.
That's the spice chest. Spices were very valuable.
Ah. I mean, what sort of spices would they have in the 17th century? There you go. Of course you've got a list.
Yeah,
wow.
Still smells some of them.
Yeah, they smell nice actually. It smells like Sambuca. That one does.
That's Charles I.
Yeah. He looks a lot more serious than second. You can tell. Yeah. You can tell.
Total difference. In fact, if we didn't know for a fact they were related, you wouldn't put the 2 together. Small man, very stubborn, hated people, good family man, and then you've got his son, tall, dark, handsome, very gregarious party animal. Yeah, he was a great family man. He loved his kids. He loved his wife, and you could never accuse Charles II of that.
Oh no! Wow, Thomas Whitgrieve's room.
That's Thomas Whitgrieve's room.
Huge.
This is Dame Alice's bedroom.
Dame Alice.
That was Thomas's mother, daughter of the original builder. This is we use this for the kids. So the kids can actually dress up.
Only the kids? Do you not get the adults in it as well?
Well, some adults would be okay, but they are kid sizes.
Oh, you should definitely have like a Charles II outfit for the adults.
Yeah.
Because I would be absolutely down to be dressed like him.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting told off. Okay. Wow.
So at least you've seen 2/3 of that house.
Yes, thank you very much. I really genuinely appreciate it. Yeah. Genuinely.
Crazy. That's the attic as a sample.
Out of bounds.
But if you're quite local, do come another day and.
I absolutely will do. I promise you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is Moseley Hall complete. Now I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out because I was just videoing, but not like usual where I'm goofing around with it. I was just so interested with the volunteer and the stories he was telling me and the information he was just offloading that I didn't really record different angles. It was just looking at the pictures as we were talking. But I'm still going to upload this video, but it was just my personal experience here. Genuinely I enjoyed it. I feel genuinely lucky that I managed to get pretty much the place to myself, go upstairs, and they went the extra mile for me. So anyway, I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out, but you've made it to the end, so thank you very much for watching as always. Hope I've given you a bit more insight into Charles II and his next stop off after Boscobel House. Like I say, if you want to know more about that battle and the place he stopped before here, then we've got a previous video on it. I think now I need to consult with Joe. I think we should record and go through the whole of Charles II's journey and see who else he met and what else he did. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment or subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you at the next one.